Okay, we're here to talk about weekly sales breakdown, specifically for the fall. And I have a few thoughts I want to share. First and foremost, as you're thinking about um, just planning in general, I think, there's that old saying that when you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And I think the more we progress, the faster we progress, the more that we're intentional about going from, let's just see where we get to plus launch, or hey, let's just have PCs plus launch, to let's systematically and really methodically break down the sales week, especially in the fall when we don't have quite the same volume. That's really where we're going to take our business from sustainable to really explosive, or really from non-sustainable to sustainable and then to explosive. So a couple of thoughts, we'll dive right in here, everyone. I have 5 keys for breaking down the sales week specifically to the fall, and there's some nuances here. But the first thing that I think is important for every single office, every single week, is the importance of a weekly staff meeting. And something you may have seen over and over again at region events, specifically from Florida United. This goes back from our 2017 initiation of this program. That's the syllabus and the agenda, which you can certainly ask for from me, of a weekly staff meeting. This came from the pilot with Luke Maseko. And this is what a board looks like traditionally in Florida United. And I'm going to decipher what everything looks like. And I just want to give you kind of where you could be 2, 3, 4 steps once you get this specific weekly fall breakdown. This is where it gets to when you're really mapping out on a weekly basis the entire office. So a couple things. The first thing you'll see on the right side is just a miscellaneous list of things that need to get covered with the staff. Now, if you're by yourself, you don't have a staff, maybe this is for AMIs, or maybe this is just a miscellaneous planning list that you as the manager have to get done. Okay, and again, there's an outline for this if you're looking for some guidance and direction with this weekly staff meeting. It's about an hour to an hour and a half. Okay. Then another part of the weekly staff meeting to plan out the week is the set number for PRs, right? What did each of the staff members, in this case, the initials on the left column are, the name of the staff members, cycle, what they're out for this cycle and the goal, and of course, personal sales, which we're going to be tracking, whether they're a full-time assistant having less time to sell or a part-time assistant having more time to sell. We want to make sure that we're accounting for that and holding them accountable every single week. Non-summer 500 plus weekly. During the summers, 1,000 plus. And then you look at the training seminar. This is where we're going to go through, where were we at in recruiting this time on a Monday, let's say for a staff meeting, or Sunday. Where were we at with our training set number, and where we are now, and just doing some projections. And again, with the letter, you can see there's some color coding on the right side: LM, GS, KC, and DD. Those are the assistants' initials, and the colors represent who at the projection, who on the projection of the sales reps is going to be on their specific sales team. Okay, when we break the office down, and you'll see here with a larger team, there's color coding to see who covers who and who gets to talk to who. And you'll notice next to each name is a number: 2K, 3K, 1K, and that's something I'm going to reference in terms of individual benchmarks. Okay, so just the reason I say all this is because when you have a weekly staff meeting, and the more advanced you get, the more you plan, the more in detail, especially as you build from the fall, spring into the summer, the more on top of your business you're going to be, and the more you can diagnose the ship and adjust in a quick fashion. So last thing here, and this is something more for the summer, where you're breaking down the office, specifically even down to demos done per day, and demos needed to be sold by specific mid and late week benchmarks, which I'll talk about. But I want to bring it back to the fall, because the fall can be a lot simpler than what I just showed you. The fall can be so basic. In fact, I want to talk about these next 4 topics. And the first one is 20-60-20. You've heard of 10-80-10, the ratio of low, high, and in between. But I really do think in the fall it changes to a 20-60-20. And so for me, when I'm breaking down my team, whether I have 10 reps, 20 reps, 30 reps, 100 reps, in the fall, that'd be cool. I want to know, okay, can I target who on my list, and I write down all of my reps, who on my list, what 20% of my 10, let's say two out of my 10, can I get to at least put 1 or 2 orders in, assuming a 250 average, right? Who can I get to turn in 1 or 2 orders this week? And I'm going to force that issue. Now, preface, because it's the fall, you'll have people that are out of town that won't be selling, and they let you know. And you have that's a separate column. But people who are active are supposed to be active. If they're supposed to be working, they've got to be turning in 1 to 2 orders a week. That's 3 to 4 demos max, maybe 5. Okay. 60% of my breakdown, let's say 6 out of 10 reps that I have, can I get them to 3 to 5 orders, which would be about 500 to 1,000, give or take. And then the top 20% would be 6 to 10 orders or 1 to 2 grand. And I know these numbers, again, in the summertime wouldn't be anything worth writing home about. But what I will tell you in the fall, non-summer, these numbers start to build. And one thing we started implementing past the 20-60-20 is you do this, you break it down, you list off all your reps, who could be in the low, high, and in the middle, and then you pick 1 or 2 reps to go national. What does that mean? You pick 1 or 2 reps to go for a $3,000+ week, because as we know in the fall and spring, it's a lot easier to go national. And see, once you've got these projections, okay, once you've got these 1 to 2 orders, 3 to 5, 6 to 10 or go national, these are things that you'll share with your reps, whether it's on Sunday at PSP or on Tuesday PDI, depending on when you run your weekly staff meeting, okay? So you've got 20, 60, 20, low, medium, high, and then 1 or 2 reps that go national. Now, that little extra, that 1 or 2 go national, you may not have that part, and that's okay, okay? But you certainly can break everyone else down into 20, 60, 20. The third focus is newsletter focus, which is pretty straightforward, but in the non-summer, it's $500 to get onto the newsletter. So it's pretty simple. You go your 20, 60, 20, take all the reps that you've targeted at 500 plus, so that the middle 60 and the high 20, and you just let people know. I think on Sunday PSP or on Tuesday PDI, building the value of getting on the newsletter. Not, hey, get to 500 and you get on the newsletter. It's, hey, Johnny, I want you to know that when you get to 500, you're going to get on the newsletter. Do you know what that means when you're on the newsletter? Oh, it's a multitude of things. Well, first of all, it means, and you build up the opportunities for advancement. You build up recognition. You build up consistency. You build up what that times another 12 weeks in the semester can do sales and then income-wise. But it's really selling, not telling, why the newsletter is exciting. Again, a PSP on Sunday, Monday, or PDI on Tuesday. The fourth part, and one of my favorite parts of projecting the sales week, are the individual benchmarks. And you saw the picture earlier of all the reps at the bottom in the pilot and a number next to all of them. Now, I want to give you kind of the schematics that we came up with in 2017. And in the summer, every person gets labeled either 0, meaning they're on their way out, they're quitting, or they get 200, 500, all the way up to 3,000. No numbers in between, and no one gets more than 3,000. Even if someone is shipping at a high level, we'll still only give them a $3,000 plus. And that way, when we do our office projection, we'll just go through and say, all right, let's say I have 10, 20, 30 reps on the team. We'll put a number like this next to each of them, okay? So I'm going to pause for a second. So you start with 20, 60, 20, just to give an idea and really put people in the categories. But then you list off your whole team and you give them a specific number that they can get to. And this is the number you'll use to drive again on PDI. Now, those are summer numbers, but in the fall, we tend to make it a little more simple. Can it be 1, 2, 4 orders or go national? 1, 2, 4 orders or go national. And you give them a label. It's pretty straightforward. And again, you'll take a picture of this, and this is the picture. You can look at it. You drive reps on PSPs and on PDI, okay? And then finally, our late week targets. That's pretty straightforward. When I think about what the targets are, it's where can your team be by Wednesday? Now, keep in mind in the fall, we're not getting a lot of demos done. So I would say if I'm going for a $10,000 a week, I'm really thinking, okay, what percentage of that's going to happen by Wednesday? Probably 10%, maybe 20%. So if I'm going for a 10K week, I want to be probably $1,000 by Wednesday, okay? Then whatever we need to be at by Wednesday, we double that, and that's what we want to be at by Friday. So I'll give you an example. If we're going for a 10K week, we want to be at 10% by Wednesday. That's 1K. Double that by Friday, right? That's 2K, okay? Double that again by Sunday. That's 4K, okay? And then another 10% on Monday. That's 5K. So where's the other rest of the report come from? It comes from the new group, okay? So again, 10% every week by Wednesday, double that by Friday, double that by Sunday, and then last 10% by Monday. And notice we're only talking about current team. This is how you break down the week just for the current team. And then what you do from there is pretty straightforward. You take your projected set for training and you do all your numbers down the funnel from show to training, launch percentage, first weekend PPR, and that's your first weekend pop. You add the two, and that's your sales projection. So pretty straightforward, just to make it as simple as possible. And good luck on everyone as you're looking to plan out your week and really strategically drive sales on a weekly basis. Okay? Take care, everybody. And we are done the video.